If you watched my last video, you saw me build an AI call center in about 30 minutes. And that was cool, but it had one fatal flaw. If the customer didn't pick up the phone, the lead is dead. And in 2026, you cannot rely on one single channel. You need to be everywhere, just like your customers are. So today I'm upgrading that system. I built the ultimate omni-channel AI agent. It calls your leads. If they don't pick up the phone, it instantly shoots them a personalized SMS. If they reply via email, it will read that too. And all of this feeds into one single brain that remembers everything. I'm going to show you how the logic works, the tech stack, and then we're going to build it live step by step. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Rhomays. I'm the co-founder of Nedzo AI, with platform that allows you to automate and unify all customer communication with AI agents. So without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, so here's the logic. For a full AI call center to work, it needs to handle not only inbound, but also outbound. And also it needs to access a couple of different things to perform effectively. So let's take a deep look into this. The first section is the pre-conversation section. So this is where we need to capture the conversation entry point, pass all the information and custom fields, and prep conversation handoff. A lot of times you might have customer conversations coming from websites, website forms, Facebook forms, Google forms, and so many other places. So just for sake of example, I'm putting here automation tools like Make.com or Zapier or N8N. They all essentially do the same thing. And the idea is to connect all the incoming traffic to your AI call center infrastructure. Okay. So this infrastructure should be able to deal not only with chat messages, calls, but also website widgets, right? If I go to here to a website, here, you can see here in this corner, talk to Nedzo AI agent. So if you click on it, you'll see like this will prompt you to start a conversation. So we should be able to capture all of these different inbound
Hi,
inquiries.
this is Nedzo. Who do I have the pleasure to be speaking with today?
Okay, so you get the point. Now, once we have this, it's important that all this information is connected to a centerpiece, AI call center. We will use Nedzo AI in this video, and all of it connected to one single brain. So the AI agents should know where the customer is in their customer acquisition journey, right? Whether that's for support, whether it's for customer acquisition, same thing. So we need an AI call center that can feed everything into one brain. But at the same time, we also need all that AI call center, all those agents, or this ultimate agent, to access different tools. We need them to be able to transfer calls if on a call, sending emails, shoot personalized text messages, use Calendly, for example, to schedule appointments, send Slack messages to the team, and even doing web searches, everything live on the call, and much more, because that's what a human would be able to do. So we need to configure all of that, and then we can use multiple AI agents. I recommend one per channel, so chat, call, and widget. And then we need to also prep the handoff, right? Let's say someone engages with the AI agent. If we want to escalate that conversation via chat to a team member, how will we do it? How will we handle the handoff? And across multiple channels, for example, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger from Facebook, SMS, phone call, email. There are all these different channels, and a proper omni-channel AI agent or AI call center system should be able to handle them all. Not only that, we also need to look at the outbound side. So once they come in, let's say you generate a lead, you probably want to trigger an outbound call. You also might want to send a text message. Perhaps you need to send also a notification via web when they access your pricing page. All of these things should be considered when building an AI call center, especially an omni-channel one. Because then post-conversation, what needs to happen is, one, we need to extract all the information and context from that conversation, because that is where all the money is at. Two, integrate or update with third-party tools and systems. For example, if you're working with a client that has a weird CRM and you want to update the systems, well, you might want to do that with one of these tools here. And also automate follow-ups and next steps. So you can automate follow-ups and next steps all with this tool here with Nedzo. So everything lives within the AI call center. But for integrations and other steps, you might want to use also the same automation tool like Make, Zapier, or N8N. Since we now have the whole flow, let's start building. All right, so I'm going to use two tools. One of them is N8N, as you can see here. As I showed you for the pre-conversation, you might be getting Facebook leads or website form leads, and this can handle it all. So right now I just created this N8N native form, but you can also use something like, for example, if I click here, replace Facebook, when someone submits a lead, or you can also do your website form, a webhook, anything really. So just swap this trigger here with whatever your leads are coming from or your customer inquiries are coming from. Then the next step is here, the Nedzo. So we're going to add this to our AI call center. All I did here was setting up a quick API call. So if I go here to docs.nedzo.ai, you'll see this. I have the create contacts, and I'm going to use this endpoint, api.nedzo.ai v1 contacts. And I need to send over the workspace ID. I need to also send my bare API key, and then we can use all these fields. We can also use custom fields, which I'm about to show you in a second. So when someone submits the form here, let's execute this. You'll see a form like this. Let's say Dennis Rhomays. And business name. There we go. This is a very standard form, right? I want to use this custom information, so let me submit this. Boom. Now we have it here. You can see all this information. So next step, let me actually pin it. Next step is we want to send it to Nedzo. I already set this up, at least the standard fields. So you can see here, oops. We have first name, last name, email, phone number. We have here also the workspace. This is just about the dummy account, so no worries about that. And now what we need to do is pass on all this information to the AI call center, right? So that is the main point. So let's head over to Nedzo. This is my test workspace. What I want to do is set up the agents. As you can see here, I have 4 agents that I created. You can do here and create them. Inbound voice agents, outbound voice agents, chat agents, and web widgets. The web widget, as I said, is like a chatbot or voice bot. You can add both, like in one widget, it can handle both and add it to the website. The chatbot, the voice agent for outbound, and the voice agent for inbound. I already created them. All you gotta do is click here and create one of these. In this video, I'm not going to dive too deep into the prompting section, but if you'd like me to do that and having like in-depth prompting hacks and prompting structure and everything, just leave it in the comment section down below. I'll make sure to get one out very, very soon. Now back to the build. So I already pre-built these agents. Now I have one inbound and outbound. So this and this. Of course, chat and web widgets, they handle both automatically, both directions. Now we need to set the memory. So what we want to do is, I will do this for every single one of them. So click here, inbound, knowledge, and I can go here and update or add any knowledge items. So I can add like URLs, a website, text, and even files. In this case, I'm going to add the website. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's added. The beautiful thing is let me just save it. If I go here to the outbound agent now, and I go to knowledge, if I click manage, it's already here. So I just need to click it and boom, there we go. So I can just save it, add it. And then all you got to do is repeat the same process for the other ones, right? So now we just fed all the agents with the same knowledge. And of course you can do this with PDFs, like for SOPs or for product information and even more. Next step is we need to give them access to some of these tools. So transfer call, email, SMS, Calendly, for example, Slack, and so on and so forth. Now, one cool thing is here, we just need to do this once. So if we go to integrations, I can connect email. I already did this beforehand. So all we got to do is essentially add the sending domain and then add these records to our domain host. To connect Slack, just click it. Let's click connect. There we go. As you can see here, it will enable them to view and also perform actions like sending messages, allow. There we are. we are connected. Now you can connect Calendly or Google Calendar or Lead Connector. I will use cal.com for this example. You just pick your space. I will use ConvOS here, allow. Fantastic, it's connected. And of course, then you can connect any of the next tools. By the way, I tend to like dark mode better, so I will just continue in dark mode moving forward. Now that we integrated some tools, we need to make sure that we give the AI agents access to them. So the way we do it is by going to agents, right? And go to inbound agent. I want to go to actions, and here on the calendar, I can just add a calendar. Let's select the provider that we have connected, cal.com, select the 30-minute call. Boom, there we go. Save it, and now we have it connected. For transferring the call, let's transfer this to our billing department. We can do a warm transfer. This means that it will give a summary before connecting the two lines. And if for some reason the other party doesn't pick up the phone, it will come back to the conversation and continue the conversation. This is pretty dope. Perfect, let's save it. And we can even send messaging notifications. So here let's add Slack. Let's pick the channel, general, and let's use this condition. Now, of course, you can also, before I save this, we can also use custom information here. So if I go back to prompt, I can go to variables and get, for example, first name. And when setting up the action, I can add something like if user, so here a message, the user is having this problem, right? So we can add anything. And even if we need custom actions, let's say you want to do live lookups, like we saw here, say web search, we can also do that by making an API call. So we can connect to the real world using, for example, N8N or anything else, fetch information and then send it back. And we can add the parameters. This is a more advanced. And again, if you'd like me to show custom actions in action or live, well, just leave it down below in the comment section. I'll read all comments and we'll make sure to deliver a video on that. Cool. So we don't need this. And knowledge is there. Settings, we can, of course, customize a lot of things, but that's not the focus of this video. So now that we have this connected, how can multiple agents manage the handoff? This is the beautiful thing about the platform Nedzo. So not only, of course, we have a beautiful dashboard with all the numbers, but if I switch to a different workspace just to show you how it looks like, this is also dummy data. Here, there's the Unibox, which is a unified inbox, and it will show us all conversations across different channels. So when someone replies, essentially, we can see that it was an inbound call, or we can see that it was an email. And then, of course, we can go in and manually reply. We can mark as read. We can also call it or do anything in between. So if I go back to the Conversation OS workspace, which is the one I was working on, the only thing missing right now really is the workflows. Like, how do we do the handoff? How do we create the sequences? Here, the handoff is essentially automating the process between how the different interactions will work. So let me go here to workflows. I already pre-created these two. You can go here, create a workflow, or if you'd like the templates for these, the ones that I just created, first link in the description, you can access for free my community. I call it Conversation OS. You can get this template for these workflows so that you can just import them, copy and paste, and launch. Now, first workflow for inbound is very simple. When someone reaches out to us, what we want is essentially, if someone replied, we want to send a Slack message to the team to notify them, hey, we have someone engaged with us. Then we'll update the contact, and then we'll send a custom action via webhook. So this enables us, for example, to update an external system or anything else. But the important thing is for outbound. So let's say we generated a lead, right? Replace this node with contact created, and I could add a filter, for example, if it has a specific tag. And now, whenever someone comes in, it will make a call. Now, if they answered, let's say they answer the first call, then we can send them a text message, an email, wait a couple days, and then if they replied, we'll let the team know that they replied via Slack message to the team channel. If they didn't reply, then we can send an AI agent to reach out to them, another outbound call, no answer. Well, then send an SMS and then an email. If they did answer, then notify the team, and we can just repeat this process. So this is just a simple automated follow-up system that you can utilize to engage and get your leads to respond. Once you're ready, just turn them on. Oops. Turn them on here. And then we'll see all the conversations dripping in, and we can manage them all in this unified inbox. Well, essentially, this sums it up. So we gave the AI agent tools. We created an agentic system so it shares all the same memory, and we can centralize all communications in one place for the human handoff. Post-call, we can use either these as webhooks and then integrate with these automation tools to connect with external third-party apps. And the same thing goes for this. Now, I want to show you how we get a lead into the system, because that's what we were about to do. Going back to this, so now that we have this information, let's execute a step. And if I go to contacts, boom, there we go. I have this information here. But you see the business name is empty, right? And you can also see that how can we help? This field doesn't exist. So what can we do? Well, we can go here into Nedzo and we can create custom fields. So let me do it like this. Create a custom field. We already have business name. We can map it. Let's also do help add. There we go. And now we can map the fields. Let me just save this. Now, if I go to agents, you can see here all the custom fields variables also. So I can just grab this business, go to init. Let me add another body field, paste this. Oops, should be like this, actually. There we go. And now business name, just drag and drop, and do the same thing also for, for the how can we help. So let me copy this, go to init, paste it, and let me just remove these curl brackets and paste it here. Just to make sure that we have the right data, because the system doesn't allow duplicated contacts. Let me go ahead and delete this one. There we go, it's deleted. So now let's go ahead and test this again. I'll click execute step, and boom, there we go. We can use all that information dynamically within the agent itself. So we can go ahead and use, for example, here, the business name, copy it. We can also use the, how can we help here, and let them know. I would not do it here, of course, I would do it probably here. So, and this way I can give additional context to the AI agent to do it. Of course, as for the prompt itself, we can always enhance it with the agent copilot, but I will leave that for another video. So, and this kind of wraps it up. So we managed to create a system that feeds an AI call center. It handles all type of communications across all channels, including SMS, email, phone calls. We gave them access to all these tools. So to search the web, to Slack, to calendar scheduling, sending SMS, emails, and transferring calls. We also share the same memory across all different agents, so they can get better and better and better. And the cool thing is about Nedzo is that the AI agents have machine learning on the back end, meaning that with each and every conversation, they will just become better. And lastly, we enable these agents to also do outbound. For human handoff, we have, of course, appointments, transfers, but also we have the unified inbox where we can go in and manage all conversations. When a call ends, we can push all that information to third-party systems if we wish so, via one of these automation tools like Make, Zapier, or N8N. That's it for this video. It was a blast. Well, I know it was a long one, but leave me all the questions below. And if you want to get access to all the templates, everything, the extended version of this video, well, just join the free community below. We are helping AI founders build proper businesses, AI agencies, AI SaaS companies, everything for free. Well, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.